So former Ambassador Nikki Haley says that she agrees with the unanimous Supreme Court ruling keeping former President Trump on the ballot in Colorado, of one of more than a dozen states that are voting on Super Tuesday tomorrow. The Trump team predicting a delegate avalanche that will help them clinch the nomination, they say, next week. Right now, he has 244 of those delegates, needs to get to 1215. Haley has 43 after winning her first contest in Washington, D.C. More than 850 will be up for grabs tomorrow night. We will have all evening coverage of that. And as I said, 1215 is the magic number for the nomination. Republican and presidential candidate Nikki Haley joins me now. Ambassador Haley, good to have you with us. Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks so much, Martha.
So is it fair to say, you said the other day that you had only thought as far as Super Tuesday in terms of your campaign. Is it fair to say that you will be making some kind of decision on Wednesday?
Well, what's fair to say is we've been in 10 states in the past week. We just had a rally here in Texas with well over 1,000 people just outside of Houston. We'll be doing another rally tonight in Fort Worth. And, you know, we're running through the tape. We're touching as many people as we can. The crowds are passionate. They're fired up. They want a new generational leader. They want to turn the page. And we're excited about that. And so our goal has always been to stay competitive. And as long as we're competitive, we're going to keep on running through the tape.
So what does that mean? You know, what states do you think that you might have a crack at winning? What is staying competitive? How do you define that come Wednesday morning?
Well, usually it's the media that defines what's competitive, but I will tell you we have some internal numbers that we're looking for, and that's what we're going to focus on. I'm not going to share those today, but our goal is just to be competitive. Look, I mean, we are blessed to live in America where everybody has the opportunity to show the power of their voice at the ballot box. We've got 16 states and territories that are going to be voting tomorrow. We're excited because this is the opportunity of, do we go with more of the same or do we want something different? And, you know, whether it's here in Texas where we just did the rally and thousands of people are saying they want something different, that's our goal, is to make sure that we go back to what's normal. We go back to results for the American people. We go back to where we have fiscal responsibility and stop the wasteful spending and securing the border and making sure we prevent war. Those things matter.
So, you know, the former President Donald Trump has come after you for not pledging to support the eventual nominee, which, of course, you had to pledge to support the eventual nominee to get the RNC, you know, permit to go on these early debate stages. Now, what do you say about that? You answered the question yesterday, so I'll ask you again. Will you support the eventual nominee for the Republican Party?
Well, I think you should ask him if he would support the eventual nominee if it was me. I mean, nobody's asked him that, and I think that's the case. Look, the convention's not till July. There's a lot of time. I mean, I have said very clearly how much I think Joe Biden is a problem, how I think he's dangerous for our country, and how I think we need to go in a different direction. But I don't think Joe Biden or Donald Trump should be president. That's why I'm running. And I don't think a lot of other people think the same thing. Millions of people will vote tomorrow, and they're going to have their voices heard. This is not an anti-Trump movement. This is a pro-American movement. These are people who are tired of the wasteful spending, and Donald Trump's not talking about the fact that he put us $8 trillion in debt in 4 years. These are people who want to go and see a secure border, and they don't like the fact that Trump stopped Congress from trying to fix the bill and pass a strong border bill. This is about national security, where we should be preventing war, and Trump said he would stand with Putin as he invaded our allies. It's a totally different set of policies that we're talking about, that we want to see America go in a strong direction. And so I think people will have the chance to vote tomorrow, and it's going to be a great day.
You know, I know that you've ruled out running in any kind of third party and giving people another alternative, but here are some folks who really would like one. Watch this.
I'd vote third party.
Third party, yeah. Write-in or third party?
Well, if Nikki doesn't win the Republican nomination, hopefully she'll go third party.
I'm pretty dissatisfied with the current administration, though, I will say that. So I'm leaning towards Trump, but honestly, at the end of the day, I'll probably write in a name.
Probably write in a name. Your thoughts on that? And would you ever consider giving those people a yes?
I mean, 70% of Americans don't want Donald Trump or Joe Biden. 60% of Americans say they don't want, that they think Donald Trump and Joe Biden are too old. And, you know, the Fox poll that you're talking about, Trump beats Biden by 2 points. I defeat Biden by 8. I win Hispanics by 12%. This is about addition. This is not about the fact that he's telling my supporters they're barred permanently from MAGA. I'm a conservative Republican. I always have been. I always will be. I'm not going to do a third party. That's not anything I'm interested in. But these voices cannot be ignored. They are tired of the way Republicans and Democrats are spending. They're tired of the fact that Donald Trump put them in debt. They're tired of the fact that we're becoming isolationists and not realizing the strength of our allies. And they're tired of the chaos. They're thinking of the younger generation and the fact that they are worried about whether they're going to be able to afford a home, get a job, make ends meet. And on top of all of that, they see the division and the anger that's in our country, and everybody wants it to stop. And I think that's what you're seeing when we see these massive crowds wherever we go.
All right. We will be covering all of it and look forward to doing so tomorrow throughout the whole day. Super Tuesday tomorrow night. Big states at stake and big decisions that will follow in one way or the other. Governor Haley, thank you very much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.